What's going on, guys? And welcome back to another video. Welcome back to another Max reaction. Better late than never. Apologies, it's out right now and I didn't go out last night. I was pretty busy after the game and then had work today, so not long been home from work. So apologies for that. But as always, keep up the quality support. Let me know all your thoughts down in the comment section below. Make sure you leave a like. Keep up the quality support and make sure you hit that subscribe button on the road to 6,000 subscribers. But yeah, give my thoughts last night. To be honest with you, I'm just still gutted, to be honest. Absolutely gutted. Because the effort everyone put in, especially the starting 11, yeah, we deserve something. And yeah, you know, as these games tick away, and even then, obviously before the game, you know, even me, I was like, you know, 3-0 Birmingham. But during the game, you're thinking we needed to get something from that game. And yeah, I mean, I'll get in with the starting 11 first. 3 changes, making it, I think that's 15 changes in our last 3 games. So that tells you all you need to know about, you know, the inconsistencies, etc. I know injuries have got a part to play as well, but that's 6 changes from Crawley, 6 changes from Mansfield, and then another 3 changes. So, but yeah, Taylor Moore coming at right back. I'm not sure where Hunt was, wasn't even in the squad. Apparently, and he had an injury, but I don't think he's injured, personally. Then you had Mola came back in after he missed the Mansfield game. He replaced Swinkles at left back. And then Romain Sawyers was partnered up with Butcher who come in for Grant Ward. But yeah, first of all, we started poorly, started slow, sat too deep, gave them too much respect, let them get on the ball, which you don't want to do because, as we've seen in the away fixture, they can just keep it for fun. You know, the way they pretty much know where everyone is. You know, the some of the passing they were doing was really good, and it come down the left-hand side. Keshi Anderson, who I thought was, you know, an all-right player before yesterday. I mean, he was by far their best player. I thought he was outstanding. Everything about his game, whether it was his touch, the skill, even the goal, and you know, he cut in. I know some people might say Taylor Moore can get closer, but then if you maybe dive in, he can go around you. But when I was at the game during that goal, I thought, wow, that's an unbelievable finish. And it was a really good finish, but I thought it was top corner. But looking at it back, Jed even got a touch. So I'm looking at it thinking, I mean, am I being too harsh? But maybe, you know, especially if you get a touch to it and it not being in the top corner, maybe he could have saved it. But, you know, I'm not going to go too mad. Maybe I'm just being way too, I don't know. But yeah, it was a good finish. So yeah, 1-0 up really early. Pretty much the worst thing that could have happened. But the response was outstanding. The response was outstanding. After they scored, we started getting on the ball. We started moving. We started going forward. Kofi, again, was a huge part to play of that. But everyone that started that game, the effort they put in, I thought to a man, everyone was brilliant. You know, from Jed Ward not having really much to do, which says a lot, and it's really annoying because how many games this season? I mean, just look at Mansfield. That's the one thing that really frustrates me, and I even said it on the reaction. And to be fair, I was pretty silly, maybe looking back at it, to go 3-0 Birmingham, because the amount of good sides that we've turned up against this season. You look at Charlton at home, 1-3-2. Stockport at home, drew 1-1. Wrexham at home, drew 1-1. Bolton, 1-3-2. Huddersfield, 1-1-0. All these good sides that we've beaten at home. And it just happens again that for 85-90% of the season, you know, we've been very frustrated as fans, and rightly so. Way too frustrated because we've played poorly and not given everything and not shown enough quality or not done the basics. But like Birmingham come to town live on Sky and we were brilliant. And like I said, the response was excellent. We got the goal. It was a brilliant set piece as well. I think it was Kofi actually that took it. Connor Taylor headed it back across, and Gatlin with a brilliant header to make it 1-1. And then after that, we were the better team for most of that game. We had plenty of chances. I think Gatlin should have had a penalty. He hit the bar with a header. Should have had a penalty. The keeper, Alsop, took him out. Mola had a chance. Sotiriou had a chance. Really good chance. A good save from Alsop. But going into half-time, I was annoyed that we weren't winning the game. Because, you know, whether you want to say Birmingham were off it or Rovers were just really good, maybe a little bit of both, but we were brilliant. The way we pressed, the way, you know, we helped each other as a team, the way our passing was more crisp, and we were playing things more simple, and, you know, everyone was just pulling in the same direction. And that's what I mean. It's just so frustrating where all these games throughout this season, I mean, this game is not going to define our season, of course, but it is obviously another defeat, making it 4 losses in a row. But the amount of times this has happened now, playing against good sides and we turn up, but 90% the rest of the games we're awful and rightly deserve to lose. But yeah, getting on to the second half, really not much happened, to be honest with you. You know, Birmingham were having possession. I think Rovers, you know, were beginning to tire, but we were still playing really well. Gatlin O'Donkor, who was outstanding, by the way. There's been a few good games he's had, but I thought he was brilliant, considering this is, second start after coming back from 2 months or 3 months out with a hamstring injury. I thought he gave Clara and Ben Davis an absolute nightmare. I thought he was brilliant. Strength, power, pace, trickery, hold-up play is obviously what you want to see, and he was really good. He had another chance where he dribbled past 3 players. Again, looked like he was fouled, but then Sotiriou, that chance at 1-1, the same happened against Bolton, but luckily we've got another chance and won the game. But Sotiriou, he's got to score that at 1-1. You talk about fine margins, he's got to score that at 1-1. There weren't a lot of chances for both teams really in the second half. But then that moment comes where Birmingham get another penalty. Of course. I mean, when I was at the game live, I was like, absolutely no chance. Now I'm debating it a little bit because, you know, I think it's just hard because it was in such close proximity where when you're running or when a player stops and you're stopping with the attacking player, that's, you know, your hands are going to go out. And yes, it did hit his hand, but for me, I don't think there's really much he can do. And the ref couldn't wait to give it. I've also seen a lot of Birmingham fans say it wasn't a penalty, but I don't know. Let me know what you think in the comment section below. Was it a penalty? Was it not? I mean, we'll get into it tomorrow. Of course, we'll be back live at 8 p.m, so don't forget that. But to lose that game from a penalty like that just really frustrates me even more. And yeah, fine margins, little things like that where it's never the team fighting to stay up that gets that. It's always the team at the top. And yeah, I mean, yeah, it's just frustrating. I mean, fair play Birmingham. You know, they weren't at their best, but they won, and that's what really good teams do. And unfortunately, I think we should have won the game, let alone get a point. I think we should have won. Personally, we had the better chances, we played better, but like I said, fine margins, the better team doesn't always win. But at this stage of the season, we need points, and that's, like I mentioned earlier, that's 4 losses in a row. I think 22 league defeats now, and yeah, it gets even more squeaky with 6 games left, especially because of course Burton Albion won. Of course they won against Leyton Orient. But yeah, I mean, it's just frustrating. But like I said, I thought everyone to a man that started were brilliant. Whether it was Taylor Moore, like I said, Keshi Anderson, he was their best player by a country mile. He was outstanding. But I thought Taylor Moore did really well. Wilson and Taylor did well. Mola coming back in, done well. Sawyers and Butcher in the middle. Kofi again, I can't sing his praises enough. Outstanding. If he continues to play like that, he won't be here very long. Shaq Ford done really well. Sotiriou done well, but again, he's got to score that chance. And O'Donkor, brilliant. Absolutely brilliant from Gats. And I mean, the substitutions, I've seen a few comments as a bee just lands on my knee. I've seen a few comments saying about the substitutions. I think Cowden was right to take them off because Kofi was on a yellow and was, as a young, passionate, hungry lad does, he was going in. I mean, I don't think it should have been a yellow anyway when he got it, but I think it's the right decision because although he was playing really well, and although when he came off, we pretty much lost the spark, I still think it was the right decision because I'd rather him come off than him, be out for 2 games or 1 game with a red card if he gets another yellow. And also Gatlin, again, we know the hamstring injury he recently had. Yeah, he was not going to last more than what he did, and I believe it was the right decision. The subs, however, I don't think it was right to bring on Grant Ward for Kofi. I think it should have been Hutchinson straight away. And what I will say, whether the subs had 10 minutes, 5 minutes, 20 minutes, none of them impacted the game in a positive way. Some of them I don't think even touched the ball. But, the starting 11, really good. But yeah, I just think the subs, and it's hard as well. I know we've got a few injuries and certain players are missing, but even then, they should still have more of an impact like the team that started did. But it is what it is. It's another loss. It's getting frustrating, but we need to try and find something. We got Bolton, who we obviously beat 2 or 3 weeks ago. We need to try and get something out of that. I think they won last night, but before that, I think they'd lost 3 games in a row. So we need to go and try and get something. And then we got Exeter, 6 massive games left. But yeah, leave your thoughts, leave a like, enjoy the rest of your Wednesday. Make sure you're there tomorrow night live from 8 PM as we'll talk more about the Birmingham game and preview another big game against Bolton. But yeah, for now, leave a like, subscribe, keep up the quality support, and I'll see you in the next one. Up the gas.